on Volcano Watch. Complete Alaska's weather source coverage as our team tracks a likely Mount Spurr eruption.
The latest alerts and what you can do to prepare now.
Plus, education funding bill passes the state house. What's ahead after a controversial marathon debate, and what changes the Senate could make.
And an eagle nest was removed. The debate now raging near an Anchorage elementary school.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
I think the main thing is not panic. People have lived through ash falls before.
Talk of ashfall comes as we take a live look at Mount Spurr, under the clouds right now, but closely being monitored. Alaska's weather source is on Volcano Watch after the Alaska Volcano Observatory says an eruption producing ash in weeks or months is now likely.
And good evening. We have been through this before and tonight with increasing gas emissions and earthquakes near Mount Spurr. Alaskans are again being asked to prepare for the increased likelihood the volcano will erupt. It's been decades since Spurr erupted. We're going to show you some video from the last time back in 1992. Now, before that, it erupted in 1953. Although the volcano may not have directly impacted all of our areas, many parts of Anchorage were covered in ash. And let's begin our coverage with Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry, who's been keeping a close eye on Spurr for months.
Yeah, Melissa, you spoke to the Alaska Volcano Observatory today. What changed for an eruption to now be considered likely?
Yeah, John, Rebecca, the observatory, they use a lot of sensors and tools to monitor Spurr. They've been tracking hundreds of earthquakes a day and gas emissions for some time. But after multiple flights, including just yesterday, they recorded significantly higher gas emissions coming off the volcano. And that tells them that new magma is moving in. Now, I want to show you on the map where this is. Again, Spurr sits just about 75 miles west of Anchorage. It is the beautiful mountain range that you see there on a beautiful clear blue day on our skyline. Sits at just over 11,000 feet, again, with those recent eruptions, as you saw in 1992 and previously in 1953. Now, Spurr is still an advisory. Again, it is not a watch or warning. Again, there are no signs that this is going to happen in near time, but because of that new magma that has intruded the Earth's crust, the most likely outcome, scientists at AVO tell us, is an explosive eruption. Now, an explosion there is likely, but not necessarily imminent. Again, they do still anticipate additional warning signs before an eruption were to happen. And again, this is just to our west. The first thing that we would look for if an eruption were to occur is the wind. The wind direction and speed is so important when it comes to an ash cloud being put up into the atmosphere, because, of course, that will determine where the ash is headed next. Now, the Alaska Volcano Observatory scientist Dave Schneider told me there is no need to panic, but it is time to prepare. People may remember that 92 eruption, but also more recent in 2009, of course, Mount Redoubt erupted. Schneider discussed what this eruption could be like compared to 2009 and 92.
Both of those eruptions had, impacts on aviation. So the location and the difference there really isn't a huge difference in terms of, maybe air traffic in and out of Anchorage and across the North Pacific. In terms of ash fall, one of the differences is that Spurr is a little bit closer to the major population centers in the Mat-Su, the municipality of Anchorage.
So he says that Kenai Peninsula is a little bit closer to Redoubt versus Spurr, and of course, distance matters when it comes to that ashfall. He also explained that we saw significantly more ash in Anchorage in 1992 compared to what was experienced in 2009. So it's really important that you download the Alaska's Weather Source weather app so that you can stay on top of the latest alerts, any information we get, again, any new signs of an eruption happening. We're going to get that to you as soon as possible. John?
All right, Melissa, thank you very much. And state emergency management leaders say even without a time frame yet, now is the time to start preparing just in case Spurr does erupt.
Now, they say get basic home emergency supplies, discussing emergency plans with your loved ones, and familiarize yourself with how to act during an eruption. Now, that includes avoiding going outside if there is ashfall as much as possible, and wearing an N95 mask or other face coverings to help prevent yourself from inhaling ash.
Also, try to keep ash off of your skin, and if you have pets, keep them inside as much as possible so that they're not exposed. State leaders also say right now they do not expect interruptions to last for an extended period of time.
I would hope that Alaskans would just kind of pay attention to the situation, understand the risk and threat, and then if there is some type of eruption, just to kind of take the appropriate steps to protect themselves. We're not anticipating that this event will be something that prolong or damages our infrastructure, has prolonged interruptions to our air traffic or to our ground transportation. So just be aware and take our recommendations on ways that you can protect yourself, and do what Alaskans do best, and that's be resilient.
Now, on our webpage and mobile app, we have the latest recommendations where it comes to supplies and what to do in case there is an eruption.